Alright, welcome back to the Red Pill Transmission. We've got breaking news here. There has been an active shooter at the YouTube campus, as they call it, which I don't agree with, but this is not the time for that. We're gonna go to, this is taken from ABC 7 News. Watch live. 1 dead, 4 injured in shooting at YouTube headquarters in San Bruno. A woman opened fire at YouTube's headquarters in the San Francisco Bay Area Tuesday, wounding at least 3 people before she shot herself and killed herself and prompted panic as employees hid and tried to flee, police and witnesses said. This is a big deal, guys. This is, well, I've got some theories bubbling, but let's keep going for now. 2 federal law enforcement officers tell ABC News that early indications point to the shooting being the result of a domestic situation and that it does not appear to be terror-related. Well, okay, so, here come the liberals. Is that racist that, a reported white person opens fire and we are very quick to jump to pointing out it does not appear to be terrorist related? Okay, I hear you. Here comes another liberal. Is it incredibly offensive that it's a woman and you immediately jump to it being probably some sort of jilted lover? I don't know. Why don't you check your liberal YouTube headquarters and see how many women they employ there next time? Sure, she might be one of the, 3 Asian ladies that work in accounting, but, hey, don't get mad at me! This is your Hillary-loving Jew bags that are doing it. Is Jew bags a term? I'm gonna copyright that. Officers and federal agents swarmed the company's headquarters complex in the city of San Bruno as multiple 911 reports came in reporting gunfire shortly before 1 p.m. San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini said the victims had been shot and were taken to local trauma hospitals. Brent Andrew, a spokesperson at San Francisco General Hospital, says they're treating 3 people, a 36-year-old man in critical condition and 2 women, ages 32 and 27, who are in serious and fair condition. He also described them as a 7 and a bit of a butterface. I'm just saying what it says. Look, these are the facts. It's relevant. It doesn't actually say that, but... Barberini said 1 victim was found near the entrance and 2 others were injured at a nearby business. 2 separate law enforcement sources told AB7 News reporters Vic Lee and Dan Noyes that the shooter was a white adult female. Well, that explains why there were no fatalities yet. It's because she doesn't know how to shoot. So, look, as I'm getting through this, I'm starting to think, okay, maybe there is an interesting, conspiracy thing going on, in which case it's interesting. But, otherwise, it's why is this a big news story? It seems like part of the liberal agenda. Okay, so, look, just hear me out. We've got a white woman who shot a few people and, didn't even kill them. Okay? And then who do we have reporting on it? Vic Lee and Dan Noyes. Oh, cool. We couldn't find any white people. Oh, there just were no in the middle of San Bruno, one of the whitest places on earth. We just couldn't find any white people to report on it. I'm not saying anything for sure, but I've got my eye on you, YouTube. Sky 7 was over the campus, where law enforcement was seen approaching the building with guns drawn. They were drawing them on a chalkboard and hiding in the corner. About 200 employees were evacuated with arms overhead, and the campus was flanked with dozens of police cars and emergency vehicles. Officers patted people down to make sure none had weapons. We got some snapshots here. Some breaking things from Google Communications YouTube situation. We are coordinating with authorities and will provide official information here from Google and YouTube as it becomes available. YouTube employee Vadim Navrusik. I mean, again, we couldn't get a quote from a white guy. I'm not saying everyone needs to be white, but the only white person in this story happens to be the shooter. I mean, come on. YouTube employee Vadim Navrusik posted on Twitter that he heard gunshots and saw people running. He said he was barricaded in a room with his co-workers before being safely evacuated. From Twitter, at Lavrusik, active shooter at YouTube HQ, heard shots and saw people running while at my desk, now barricaded inside a room with co-workers. I mean, honestly, that sounds like an average Tuesday for me. Barricaded inside a room, hiding in fear. Will Hudson said a friend who works for YouTube texted him about the shooter. I think there might be a shooter in my building, read one text. The fire alarm went off, so we started to evacuate, and then people started running, saying there was a shooter. The mother of a 30-year-old YouTube employee shared text messages from her son with ABC 7 News. He texted his mother that he was eating lunch at an outdoor courtyard when shots rang out at around 12:50 p.m. He told her he was hiding in a bush and was safe for now. On Twitter from Dion Lim TV. Just spoke to a shaken mom outside YouTube campus. Her son, 30-year-old software engineer, was inside during active shooter situation. He heard shots on his lunch break on outside patio. He is now hiding in a bush. Somewhat ironically, for the 30-year-old software engineer whose response to an active shooter was to hide and text his mother, this is actually the first bush he has been in since leaving his mother's. I'm going to pause for that. I'm going to do an applause break for that one. I'm assuming you're applauding. People nearby the campus have posted photos and information from the scene on social media showing police cars surrounding the facility. About 1,700 people work at the campus. Again, I think it's disgusting they call it a campus, but whatever. Let's see. Google, which owns the world's biggest online video website, posted on Twitter that the company is coordinating with authorities. Oh, I bet you are. I bet you're just wrapped up in there with the authorities, aren't you? I bet it's almost as if it's one big revolving door of swampy corruption. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms oh, I didn't know this. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Did you guys know that they added it? That's like a new... They're expanding. Good for them. Good for them. They also said it responded to the shooting at YouTube's suburban campus.
Yeah, we're here too. I just want to, you guys, ATFE, right here, just letting you know. We are also here.
The White House said President Trump was briefed on a shooting and that officials were monitoring it. On Twitter from Real Donald Trump was just briefed on the shooting at YouTube's HQ in San Bruno. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody involved. Thank you to our phenomenal law enforcement officers and first responders that are currently on the scene. Andre Campbell, a trauma surgeon who treated the victims at the hospital, said the shooting was another sad day for America. This is unfortunate, and it continues, he said, referencing the Parkland, Las Vegas, and Pulse nightclub shootings. Okay, look. I mean, do we really need to make this a political thing? I mean, look, this is just unfair for him to bring it up right now. He is politicizing the tragedy, just like liberals always do. I mean, next thing you know, he's gonna be like, this is just another incidence of white violence, in a long line, starting with the systematic eradication of Native Americans. Whatever. Hudson said his friend made it safely back to San Francisco and was in contact with his family. Hudson said he'd become used to hearing about gun violence, but has never been so close to it before. It just feels strange. It feels like it could really be anyone. That's really the strangeness of it, he said. Yes, could be anyone, or could be no one. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. YouTube will pull me immediately for any sort of accusations like that. I'm not saying that. But as we have reached the end of the article, I might have a few things to say. Look. Well, okay. My producers vehemently shaking his head and jumping around. So let's just, I'll go to InfoWars and quickly just give you another little take on it. YouTube HQ shooting eyewitness. Didn't have a gun on me, but wish I did. Expresses regret for being unable to defend self against shooter. This is just a quick little blurb. They just wanted to get that out there. An eyewitness of the YouTube shooting on Tuesday said he didn't have a gun at the time, but wished he did. What's going through your mind? A reporter asked the man. Well, Leslie was on my mind, the eyewitness said, nodding to a woman nearby. But at the same time, I knew I had to be smart. You gotta be smart. You gotta be fast. I didn't have a gun on me, but wish I did, he added. It's worth noting that California has some of the strictest gun control laws in the country. That's the end of that article. They just want to point out that there was a guy who said he wished he had a gun on him. This is what happens when you don't carry a gun everywhere you go. I mean, technically, it also happens when you do carry a gun, but look, I feel inclined to point that, look, you guys know me. You guys and gals, whatever, fucking whatever. You know me. If there's one thing that I pride myself on, it's always being non-biased. Always. So, I feel I should point out, they call him an eyewitness of the YouTube shooting. Okay, that's fine. I feel like if he was actually an employee or like directly involved with the campus somehow, they would have said that, because in other articles they were quick to point out like YouTube employee, blah, blah, blah. And look, it's not, I'm just commenting on their practices. I'm just saying the gentleman is, well, he has, I will just describe him. He has a bit of a swarthy complexion. He looks sort of shifty-eyed. He is of short, stout stature. Looks like he comes from, like, mountain climbing folk. Like people who are good at, like, I don't know, for instance, like, when you need to climb, a mountain in South America, you might hire someone to carry your water for you, and to take selfies of you. And you might, of course you're gonna tie a rope to your camera and to your wrist so they don't run off with it, but like, cause I'm not saying, that's not a racist thing, I'm just saying you're never gonna catch him. It's gone. If they take off, it's gone. They've got these calves that are like insane. Anyway, he doesn't scream software engineer to me. That's all I'm saying. So, he might not be, the best witness, but he did wish that he had a gun on him. So, that's important to point out. They found a guy who did say he wished that he had a gun on him. So, it would have been a great story if we were like valiant, swarthy hero with amazing calves saves the day because he had a gun on him. But, alas, it's just another story about a white lady randomly shooting around, probably at her boyfriend, and then killing herself. So look, this is not a conspiracy thing. I'm just throwing stuff out there like you interpret it. All I'm saying is it appears to be a white woman from the demographics of the people she appears to be, possibly involved with. She's probably, working professional, late 20s, early 30s age, probably in a fairly affluent socioeconomic little niche there. Again, nothing's confirmed. I'm just saying, statistically, she sounds like a Hillary supporter to me. Now, am I saying Hillary Clinton... Am I saying Hillary Clinton hired people to go and shoot up YouTube so they could come in and take our guns? No, I'm not saying that. Am I saying Hillary Clinton also possibly had brainwashed these people and unleashed some sort of CIA mind control sleeper cell thing that's causing them to shoot up YouTube, specifically something that has the voice of the youth and, that has the ear of the youth and would be perfect for broadcasting a liberal anti-Second Amendment agenda. Again, no, I'm not saying that. Here's what I am saying. Okay, you take two scenarios. One, Hillary Clinton was involved in this somehow, okay? Two, there was a mutated shark who had grown wings and put on the mask of a white female and came in and did this and then shot himself, and they didn't notice it was a shark with wings. Out of those two situations, the Hillary one is more plausible. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything for sure, but between those two scenarios, can we all agree that the Hillary one is more plausible? Alright, well, we can all agree on the plausibility of the Hillary scenario. Alright, looks like my producer is about to put a gun in his mouth, so I better go. Red pill out.